Here we are back at it again, round 200 with the Springfield Armory Hellcat Pro OSP comp. Handling it today, doing 115 grain. Nothing crazy about today, just moving forward with the shoot, given all the life circumstances that are going on, which we don't talk about because we're here for the firearms. and it was fun. It was fun. I'll let the video do the talking, and it's nice because I don't have to reload. I mean, I still reload the same amount, but not with the frequency, right? So I've got a lot of magazines, and that helps with 10 rounds. That helps with not having to stop as much, right? So load it first with 60 rounds and then another 40, so it's very, very streamlined. I like doing that, and I think I was so used to just doing 3 mags for a while that I finally decided that it might be better to consolidate that time and not have to keep reloading in between shoots. So okay, we'll see you in the outro. Just a couple things, like we usually do, to talk about and discuss with the firearm and other topics possibly. So stay tuned for that outro and enjoy.
This video is intended for educational and informational purposes only. All firearm handling shown is performed by trained individuals in a controlled environment. Always follow the 4 rules of gun safety. Number 1, treat your firearm as if it is loaded. Number 2, never point a firearm at anything you do not intend to destroy. Number 3, keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Number 4, be sure of your target and what's beyond it. Comply with all local, state, and federal laws regarding firearms. Do not attempt to replicate any action seen in this video without proper training and safety measures. The creators assume no liability for misuse or unsafe practices.
Welcome back, to the pew, here for the 1,000 round review series of the Springfield Armory Hellcat Pro OSP comp. I said I'd get that right. I'm sorry, I didn't get it right yet. So Pro comp OSP. Round 200 with the OSP comp. I shot 124 grain. We're going to be shooting Blazer 115 full metal jacket today. See how it does. The accuracy was not what I expected, and the last time I shot it was like 20 rounds through it, so it didn't have enough sample size. But yesterday, I don't know. So let's see how the 115 does through it, and we'll get it going. I've got a lot of magazines, so I got a lot of holsters. We got the G-code Paradigm holster inside the waistband because this is an EDC. I am planning on carrying it, seeing how it does with all of the ammunition as well as reliability and accuracy. Blackhawk mag caddy, 2 We the People mag pouches, and an LAG custom mag caddy. All right. Thank you so much for being here with me on this journey for the Springfield Armory Hellcat. It's a little snappy, a lot snappier than, let's say, the SIG. Shadow Systems CR920 XP was just smooth as butter, but unreliable with the ammunition. SIG was by far the best, the X macro comp. So let's try it out. Let's do 115 through this. I love the texture, I love the grip. Everything about it, it feels good. It feels nice and solid. So let's get it loaded. All right, I think I'm loaded for bear. Got enough magazines. Yeah, the trigger feels nice. I like it's a little bit more weighted for an EDC. That's exactly what I want. Unlike the Canic. All right, Mete MC9 Prime. This feels good. Okay, let's start the 20. Oh, I didn't do that. We're back here with the 12 and 12, and then the 20 orange silhouette, excuse me. So let's get it going. Aiming off to the right to see if there's any discrepancy. Let's go down the middle. Nope. Off to the left. Okay. Yeah, the trigger feels really nice. That pull is very deliberate, and you're squeezing all the way through. Yeah, that feels really, really good. All right, going to the humble tree. I didn't see where I was shooting at, so let's get this. I was shooting to the right, so it looks like it was going to the middle. Let me try to the right here. Nope. And that's pretty close. Definitely need to sight this baby in. There it goes. Yeah, bottom right. Bottom right. Let me try those humble trees again. Yeah, there he goes. Yep. Oh, she's a money maker now. Yeah, 115 is good. Just feels super solid in your hands. All right, let's do the 12-yard. Oops. Dang. Preemptively striking. Ejection pattern is a little far, also close, and oof, man, it's far away. That was good. That was nice. It felt really good. The accuracy is there. Let's go back out to 20. It just has to aim down to the bottom right a little bit. Let me try with this orange silhouette. Where are we? Let me try bottom right. Yeah. Let's do the tree. Come on, baby. Let's just try to go around, see if I can hit him. Failure to extract. Oh, but this is the round that was coming out anyway, so. $200, nice, did very well. One failure to extract, not a big deal. I'm not going to nitpick one or two twosies. That's okay. It's not, but for the all intents and purposes of being at 200, I'll let it go. Although that does mark it down from something, say, like the Canik. Canik had no issues. SIG also had no issues. CC9, I mean, aside from light primer strikes, but Max 9 also, no issues. Taurus didn't, I don't think, I have to go back and check. It doesn't stand out to me in particular. But yeah, I enjoy it. I could get a couple of fast shots and then a little double taps, but let me get used to it first. I like the trigger, I like the grip. Everything about the firearm feels good. Let me know in the comments what you think. The pattern has definitely closed up closed up in comparison to the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard that I was shooting. So I like it. Let's work it up. Let's keep it going and see what she's capable of later on. Say for the outro, come back for 300. Don't forget to aim for center mass, pick up your brass, wash your ass, say hi to your mom for me.
All right, all done. Super good, lot of fun. Surprisingly accurate for I'm sorry. After all this time having shot so many different firearms and practicing with 17,000 rounds or 18,000 rounds now, you think that you'd get a little bit better pause. But the ammo and the combination of that with the different firearms and the different lengths and distances between the sights and so many different aspects of the mechanics of these firearms, it's still challenging. That's why you choose one firearm and you shoot through that a lot, or something you connect with right away and then you stick with that platform, which I have connected with some, as if you have been here for a while, the Walther PDP is one of them, and I would say the SIG Sauer P365 X Macro is another, and they're slipping my mind now. Oh, the SIG P320 I just shot. That one did really well too. But this one did good. This one did good in round 200. I am looking forward to shooting more. It's just a little snappy. It's just kind of strange that it gives me that kick a little bit. And I think that's a consensus among other reviewers that I have seen. Now, that doesn't say that that's all of them. It's just my experience. And I have to be careful with that because I am pulling information just from a small subgroup of viewers that I watch and myself. And then perhaps I even have that confirmation bias, right? So then I see something, I focus on that. Even after I shoot, I'm just always going to think that thing because that's what I have seen and that's what maybe I would like to believe. And maybe perhaps that's my own form of delusion, which is trying to be positive for the most part, which we know toxic positivity is not positive. So that being the case, there's a lot of good things about this, and the round 200 showed that it did well for me. And other than the trigger guard not having those extended grips like the Echelon, the Springfield Armory Echelon does, and I think the 4.0C does too. Let me check really fast. I just want to see because that gun is exciting. Yes, it does. Yeah, it does. I'm just pulling that up right now. It has those little trigger guard notches. Anyway, okay, back to the regularly scheduled programming. Other than that, it fits well. I really do I love the feel, this little undercut. It just fits my middle finger so well. These little ridges here, these little humps for your fingers, also very, very nice. The magazine well is not really welly. It doesn't have any flare or anything to it, but it does have these cutouts where it makes the regular magazine without the extended base plate fit flush, which is very, very nice, and that's definitely a nuance I will mention because I like that. That's a nice little touch. So beaver tail's a little short. Nah, not really too fond of that, but unless I'm gripping too high. I think it's accurate, and I'm sorry, it's functional, and that it keeps from getting slide bite, although I don't know if I did have slide. Anyway, also the Picatinny, it is just 2 slots, but for this form factor, I think that is enough. You're not going to be able to fit any larger type lights underneath because of, you know, the length of the rail itself. So I don't think it's a problem. I would have liked a full Picatinny rail, but this is also solid. Everything about it is just, it does very well. Does very well. Yeah, the ammo that I shot, it was good. Distances was nice. Just those little things, little touches with the firearm went over. Takedown is also very typical. Oh, I wanted to talk about that. The design cues from the new Springfields to today. I had an XDS, which I sold. XDS, which is the 45 single stack. Held 6 rounds, 7 I think, with a round in the chamber, and that was a mule. It kicked like a mule, and it also didn't have the capacity. It was nice, but it just didn't live up to the hype. Based on the XD platform, which, if many of you know, that is a good platform. I had never owned one, but maybe I'll pick a used one up here and just give that a whirl. The 9mm, maybe full size or compact, one of the two. But this new platform type, the Hellcat, the Echelon, are, man, they are what the doctor ordered. And I think that it's just interesting that the generations going through, and now in our time, the 2020s, we can see this change. And I come from back in the, you know, early 90s. That's not when I was born, but I'm just saying, like, that's when I started to shoot back in the early 90s, and that's another time. You know, you had the Glock, of course, was around, but that was it, and that's all that was out there. And now with these different iterations, it's so fascinating. And commenter once commented, the great Dwight Stokes, 3396, it's golden age of firearms for us to be living now, to have these options, which doesn't always lend to be a good thing, because then you do get some issues, and they're few and far between. I want to say few and far between, but they're few. They're few, but that to me is, it leaves more room for error, because, well, you're creating so many of these different pistols or firearms, and you're going to have, it's just the law of numbers, right? The more numbers you have, the more room for error, the more errors that you're going to have, period. It is what it is. We're not in a perfect world, let's face it, right? But overall, I mean, it's just great. It's great to be here and great to be doing this. I'm very much enjoying it. Hope you are. Come back for round 300. Doing awesome. Thanks for all the comments, everybody. Continue to do so. Like, subscribe, comment, recommend, all that jazz. Not in that particular order. And we'll see you at round 300. Again, 照顾好自己，注意安全。